Let's do it.
We're already rolling. SpecTalk podcasts.
Rolling.
The guests take over the asylum. Fudged up my own intro. The podcast geared toward those who want to get 1% better every single day and are obsessed with personal excellence, entrepreneurs, executives, athletes, and gorditos like JFlex.
Gorditos. What's going on all my gorditos out there?
We're going to talk about that today. Welcome. We're just going to jump right in because I already fudged up the intro. So
And listen,
we're just here to have fun today. And we're going to talk about some good stuff.
let's do it.
Why don't you explain?
I mean, we always do, man.
I know.
We should
That's why
record
don't-
our daily lives.
I think so because we don't get anything done in the gym.
Because we're always
Well,
talking.
that's why I'm like, I got to go. I got 30 minutes.
Oh, I thought you were just mad.
No, I really did. I only have 30 minutes. I'm like, I'm going to do like 4 little like lat raises and
Like,
get the hell
oh,
out of here.
Christina's mad.
No. So we got so many topics today, but the first thing is we're going to talk about who he is, right? First. But those relationships that you build in the gym, I think, are priceless. So
I think they're hilarious.
I want to hit on that hilarity. But let's just give you the floor to like introduce yourself because I'm a little lazy right now.
Well, you're a little lazy. Stop it. Can't be lazy. Well,
It's like 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
I go by JFlex. I'm an entrepreneur, but more focused on online coaching, fitness. Just want to help the world, help gorditos become men, beasts.
Yes.
You know, mindset is a priority.
Yeah.
Nutrition,
Yeah.
spiritual. You got to be spiritually connected.
Yes. And so, with all that being said, where was your tipping point? Because I saw your gordito picture.
Oh man, that's the thing.
When we
man.
edit this, we're going to have to flash the pregnant belly on the He was holding it like a pregnant belly. I was like,
It's just
That's
I've always incorporated fitness since I was young.
except that year.
Well, I've always been gordito, fit, ever
So
since
you
I was.
yo-yoed.
I always yo-yo. I have so many transformations. I have over 20 transformations
Of yourself.
on myself. I'm
So
dead serious.
what happened when you...
I'm known back home since before JFlex, before I got even to personal train. I was already known for like dieting and like eating healthy.
But what kept it coming back on?
Well, it was just like I sat down one day and I realized I was going bald. I was
That's
like,
what that
oh
is
my God, this is it. Like anything I do, the top of my head is light. I can see it. This was November 2015. This is when it all began. This is where I said to myself, like, I really gotta stop the bullshit and become a beast.
Wait, so
Because you can't-
baldness, is that running in your family?
Well, my dad went bald around the same age.
Right, so what is that? That just
That
prompted you to
was-
say, okay, let's fix the gut because I can't be fat
Come on,
and bald.
Christina, you can't have the 3 Bs. You can't be big, bald, and you can't, and broke.
Big-
You can't be big, bald,
okay,
and
okay.
broke, so I had to scratch a few out of it, you know?
Big, bald, and broke
You
instead of ripped,
can't.
rich, and rare.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, I made that up.
Get shot over up
You
in these
can't.
parts.
You
Big, bald,
can't.
and broke.
So I decided to go all in fitness, but obviously since then I had my ups and downs, But up to the last almost a year was when I decided to stop drinking, and I learned a lot about my weaknesses. And I said to myself, drinking is definitely my #1 weakness. So I scratched that out of the picture, and now all I have left is just fitness.
So how long has it been? I feel like when we're in the gym, we see the same people every day for like hours. I feel like years pass by, but it's probably only been like, what, a year and a half, 2 years?
Since elevation.
Since you started going there and I started.
Oh no, I started going there 4 years ago, almost 4 years ago.
When did I actually pay attention to you?
No, she's a bitch. She's always mad.
No, because somebody said to me once he used to go to Elevation, and he moved to LA. After he moved to LA, he DMs me on Instagram. He's like, I just want to let you know you're my gym crush. I'm like, well, fuck, you didn't say anything before. He's like, well, yeah. I looked at it like it's your office because you're a pro bodybuilder, and I'm like, Okay, so why are you going to tell me a year after you move away, 3,000 miles away, you want to take me on a date like 2 years ago, but you wouldn't? Oh, yeah, I didn't want to interrupt. Shy dude, super nice, but still. And I think I probably exuded the whole like, I'm competing, I'm here to train. Don't talk to me because I'm exhausted. It's because I've been going there for 4 years as well. How do I?
Tough. It's tough. No, but we've been talking for almost 2 years now, I think.
Really?
Yeah. Like before I took the break of like my last relationship, we talked, which was 2022. Like we were talking here and there, but earlier that year, I think we didn't.
Because
I think it was like
well, I was
2 years.
competing in 22, so I probably had my same bitch face on. Like, leave me alone.
Yeah, you know what? I think it started.
cardio.
I think it started with James when you started working with James.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, that's true. Because that was sometime late 22.
yeah, I think that's when it was. I mean, I talked to everybody at the gym, so
I noticed that. so the gym.
I've been there for a while now. Now I know
Yeah.
everybody. You know.
It's such a social place to feel like, well, you know, you're getting into online coaching, so people who have this, oh, I'm a gordito, like I'm afraid of the gym, or what people are gonna think of me, or whatever. The gym has really become a place where you can have camaraderie in a community to make that dream become reality. But the interesting thing is, when I came off of a competition once and like COVID hit, and then I started eating. I mean, when the gyms closed for COVID, I started working out outside. I had bands in the house. I had all these toys that had traveled with me when I moved here, Bosu balls and TRXs and stuff. And I was like, fuck this. I'm tired. I don't want to do this anymore. I want my gym back. And then it wasn't opening. And I was like, okay, I'm not competing this year. So then I just started eating. So the gym opens up like 2 months later, and people are like, oh, you've been eating. And I'm like, yo, y'all are way too familiar for this. Of course, we've all been eating. And I just got, my ego is so bruised and so angry. But that's how close we become. Like, you just.
Yeah, no, that's how it is. I mean, especially if you're going every day. If you go every day and you see the same people every single day, it's going to come to a point you're going to know everybody.
Yeah.
You know, you're going to know.
Unless you're me and you don't talk to anybody.
No, but still, like, even going there every day, you still see
Yeah.
a face that you might recognize on the outside.
Yeah, I saw one guy at the post office once, and I was
See?
like, oh,
You're
he
like-
has clothes on. Like, I didn't recognize who he was because, you know, in gym
That
clothes,
happens
we
too, that
don't,
happens
like, look at each other. I'm like, oh, well, you look
It
familiar.
happens with girls and
From
me
the
all
neck
time.
up.
Like, oh, that's you.
Yeah. I look totally different when I'm not in the gym. Although, when I accidentally wear makeup into the gym because I was coming from somewhere, everyone's like,
Who's that?
I know.
It's like a whole nother you.
One guy was like, oh, you look good with makeup. Maybe you could be like one of my golden corrals. And I was like, what the fuck is that? And then somebody told me what that meant. And I'm like, you can't pay me enough. Sorry. If you need to pay for that, then
I'm sorry. Yeah, but
don't wear makeup to the gym.
don't. I mean, the gym is pretty cool. It's a cool gym. It's a great community there. You know, I think people have a misconception about the gym. You know, people think that you're supposed to go in there and, yeah, I get it, you know, work out hard and just mind your business. But actually, to me, the gym is actually, if you're an entrepreneur, should be the best place for you to network. Because that's where everybody's doing the same thing. Well, most of the people are they're in the same right mindset, you know,
Yeah.
as you. Those are the people you want as your customers, not at a nightclub.
Right.
You know, so if you're only going to the gym and you're only going to work and you're only staying home, where are you going to meet people for your business? You know what I mean?
I know. And especially like in online business, I feel like you still need that
You still
human
do.
touch.
Absolutely.
And that's why I won't give up in-person training for the select few that I absolutely love working with because they're consistent and they're hardworking. But that also is largely based on your following or how your engagement is and all that stuff. And Instagram's incredibly frustrating all the time. But you've amassed a few followers, one or two.
It's hard, man. It's crazy, bro. I'm shadow banned right now.
Like, why does that happen?
I don't know. I placed an ad with a person I'm in a video with, and I think someone flagged it. You know, I don't know.
So how do you know if you're shadow banned?
I mean, it says that I'm not allowed to fucking promote.
If
I
I
can't
tells
run
you.
ads. I can't run ads right now. I can't. It's literally, I'm very shadow banned.
You'd think that they would not do that because they want your money.
And at the same time, it's like, I get it. Like, you have all these girls that are showing boobs and vaginas.
I don't get that.
Like, booties. Like, you got to pay the right person to protect your Instagram. That's what it is. That's what it comes down to.
I got flagged for this joke. Somebody said something to me. He was a friend of mine, and I tagged him, and I said, I could tell you, but I would have to kill you. You know how that expression is? Oh, my God. Instagram was like, you do that again, you're... I was like, I'm sorry. Like, that was
banned.
a
I got banned on TikTok Live for that. It was like a year ago.
This is where, like, artificial intelligence doesn't actually know that that's a phrase, like, as a joke.
I was on live. Someone asked me, how's your brother doing? I'm like, he's killing it. Boom. Shut down. Banned for a month off live.
So you have to really say things like, oh, he's crushing it. Yay.
Yeah.
Doing so well.
I hate that, man. I'm so old school.
I know.
It's just tough taking away certain words, switching them up when you grew up saying them, you know?
Speaking of old school, that's a great segue.
It's just so relieving when you say old school, like old days and 90s and 2000s.
Well, here's the one thing when you say old school that I admire about you. I've recognized this. You have a way of, like, somehow being nice to everybody. Even if you know someone's a piece of shit, you, like, are nice to everybody. And I think that's just a really old school mentality of, like, you know, just be a good person. Don't let biases or perceptions.
Or just don't stress what you can't control. If they're a shitty person, that's on them.
Yeah.
You shit on me,
then there's someone like me that I wear it on my sleeve, and I'm like, oh, fuck that person.
I just believe, you know what? I believe I have like a power with karma. I don't have to do anything. Karma does it for itself.
That's a good
And
plan.
I sit back and I'm like, I didn't even want it to be that bad. That's happened so many times. I'm like, God, I mean.
Meanwhile, I'm the person's like, karma's going to get you.
I'm like, karma's going to get you. No, but I know that it's just whatever you put out is what you really get back. And that's just no way around it, bro. There has to be a consequence for just killing a fly. There has to be.
Yeah.
You're killing a living thing. There wasn't, just fucking.
So I should be nice to the cockroaches.
Nah. Listen, that's a tough one right there. They freak me out, man. Especially out here in Miami, they're huge.
I don't understand that. Somebody felt the need to tell me the other day that they found a cockroach this big.
They're huge.
Why do I need to know this?
Oh, they gross me out. But yeah, I try to be as good of a person as I can.
Do you think that people have like a different expectation based upon the exterior or like just the following or just if they just saw your Instagram page or whatever?
But that's what I love. I built this character. I created me, right?
Yeah.
I started tattooing my face. I started tattooing my neck. I started working out. So I created this character. It actually, shout out to Dick's Last Resort. That's where I got created. That's where JFlex got created.
So how did that happen?
Well, there was about 4 Johnnies work. I was the 4th, and I was the only one that worked out. So Johnny Flex, that was actually it. And I couldn't find the handle. So as soon as I typed in J_Flex, oh my God, it was like fireworks. I swear. Because it's so hard. It's so hard to find a 4-letter Instagram.
Yeah.
Super hard. And I caught on 2016. So as soon as I got it, I saw it. I pictured it on hats, on T-shirts, on booty shorts, on everything. I've given out literally, I can't even, like, you would think I'm lying on how many accessories I gave out on my Instagram.
Is that what helped you build?
Yeah, like I was working at Dick's Last Resort. I worked there for 7 years, right? Prior to moving to Miami. So you could wear whatever you wanted, pretty much. Just, jeans and one of their T-shirts. But when I could wear my own hat. I was like, yo. So I put @JFlex on my hat in big. I swear I was the first one to do that. So I started making them different colors. I used to bring 10, 20 hats to work every shift to give them out to the kids. So I literally have a lot of my followers were tables that I served at Dick's Last Resort. And they know my story. They know that I was going to move to Miami and do everything that I'm doing. Those are my witnesses. And the further I go, you know, a lot of them grow up. They have girls have boyfriends, but they know my Instagram handle, and then they will always come back and say, "Oh my God, you're doing what you told me." All of them.
Really?
Yeah, I swear. I haven't. That's where my other two boys, we basically all met. Well, one of them, I brought him in because I thought he was so good, my boy Benny. And then my boy Miggy was one of the ones that I lived with here in Miami for about 2 years. And we're us three, we call each other Manifest. So we are Manifest. And literally, I was talking to Miggy the other day and Benny, and I was telling them how we literally have manifest our lives. Like, I wanted to be here, living here. Miggy manifested working for one of the biggest record label companies. He works for Megan Thee Stallion's record company and Young Thugs and Gunners. And then my other boy, Benny, he's into online coaching. He's a mentor now. He's super young. He's a great mentor. He's killing it in his own ways with sales online and digital products and all that, courses and all that too. He's killing it too. So we're all like in our own little worlds killing it. And our goal is to one day is to become what Adam Sandler does. He films movies with all his boys.
That's
our goal. Yeah, that's our goal. Because aside from all this online coaching and the fitness, I'm also an artist. I make music. I got music that I haven't dropped that I would love to drop in the future, but music's more like a hobby. But one of my final destinations where I want to be, I was actually telling him this morning, is public speaking and acting. Public speaking and acting. Acting has no age limit, so I can push that off for later. Push my social media presence and my online presence, keep pushing it. And then later on, the acting will fall into place.
So about public speaking, what would you say is like your message? Like everybody who wants to be a motivational speaker has this like core thing, whether it's like a huge learn in their life or big experience that really helped them to change or develop into who they are. Do you feel like you have like this core message that you're like, this is it?
I've been through a lot of shit. I've been through a lot, and I know a lot of people have. But if we sat down and you heard my stories, they've all been crazy. And they've been crazy in a way where there had to be a higher power. It had to be God. Like God, it was the only, that's the only explanation I have. Like, legit. So many scenarios.
Like just how it worked out.
Everything. Like, just the fact that I was a young kid, you know, I worked. I always worked since I was 10 years old. Always worked. I worked at a convenience store stocking. $100 a week. I just told them $100 a week, all the way from 10 to 16. 16, Dunkin' Donuts, cleaning offices. From there at 18, got my first, one of my best jobs I've ever had, telemarketing over the phone.
That was your best job?
Christina, plays a commercial on TV at 3, 4, 5 in the morning for a half an hour with a doctor explaining that this product's good for your joints. And the product's called Flex Protex. How about that? Before I was Flex. I was 18. This is before I was JFlex.
So this is your, like, serendipity. Like,
No, it's just, that's what got me into supplements. I learned that.
But Flex Protect?
That was one of the products. The product in 1999 that they released the first year, it was a Coral Calcium. It was an infomercial of a doctor explaining the Coral Calcium to the owner. Like, right to the owner so the people could hear it. They call the number in the bottom. I want my Coral Calcium. I got my credit card in my hand. Back then, everybody would buy. $100 million first year. That company went from 4 friends in a garage instantly to a 500-employee company. So it was so much money involved that I loved it. It was 18. So I chose the fucking overnight shift. I started working and I learned scripts and started making sales fucking over the phone at 18. So everything that I came across was sales my entire life. Sales is what I've mastered.
This explains so much why, like, my first job was babysitting.
You see,
like, you're taking care of people, and then they grow up and forget about you.
I just loved it. It taught me scripted sales. Like, I learned scripts. Thank you for calling the Flex Protex order line. My name is Johnny. Did you see the program on TV today? Great, Samantha. Well, did you listen to the doctor? The doctor said that you should try for 3 months so you could give your body enough time to feel the full benefits from it. And if you're not happy, you can just ship us the bottles back, empty or full, and we'll give you your money back, guaranteed. Boom, sale. They were calling for one bottle. Next thing you know, they're buying 3, they're buying 12. 12 is friends and
Couple for
family.
the neighbor.
How much does it cost? $59.95. But if you buy 2, you get 1 free. It's just sales. It was fire. So that taught me sales.
Wow.
That taught me sales on another level because it was through the phone. It's harder to sell through a phone.
But at least they had the pitch
On point.
very believable.
He got paid so much money for that pitch, man.
Coral calcium.
Jamie, shout out to Jamie. But then I also worked at a nursing home. I was their server, assisted living actually, which I served the same old people every day. That's what started the serving life. Then fast forward a few years, got locked up. After getting locked up, I got out, and then that's when it started. This I just became a full server bartender ever since then. I did 13 years of that.
So there's all this work, and then you just gotta slide in there. I got locked up, but
no,
that's gotta teach you something.
Yeah,
too.
absolutely. So that was my whole point of the story, actually. So I was the way I got brought up. It was either in Boston. It's basically 2 paths, 3 paths. It's either you're going to school, become something, like really go all in,
yeah,
mommy and daddy money, or you're gonna sell drugs. That's it. And the mommy and daddy, most of them become drug addicts. So Dominicans also are known for selling drugs. So
in Boston.
Yeah, well, yeah, 100%, 90%. You have to have at least 1 or 2 family members that are doing it, and everybody's okay with it because they're providing everything in Thanksgiving, Christmas, Friday, Saturdays, parties. Everybody's happy because they're bringing everything. But anyways, so I went through. I was always like a hustler, right? People it's like a misconcepted, like people think it's just selling drugs. I've always been into selling everything, not necessarily in the drug space, but just selling. I just love selling. All the jobs I did was selling.
So you don't get frustrated. You just love, you love people, serving and selling, selling and serving.
I love serving and I love selling. Like I love that. I love sales. I love sales. I just never been able now in 2024 really until now where I could sell a digital product. Once I figure out a digital product, like how I'm in the process, give me a few days, maybe by the time this drops, DM me. But digital products is where it's at. Like that's where the money's at. Everything I sold is in person, car radio, whatever I could find, and I'll always find a flip. I know A and I know B, and I'm in the middle. Boom, here.
Yeah. That's
what really happened. And then my surroundings, I always grew up with older people. I didn't really much, like my mom was there, but she wasn't. She was always sick in bed, dealing with heart surgeries, 21 cornea transplants. My mom's pretty much 80% blind. So my mom wasn't really like on top of me. I was the oldest, so I was just, whatever.
You just figured it out.
I figured it out, and I'm so happy because I didn't turn out to be a drug addict. I never did drugs like that. I could have been way worse. I don't even know how I'm alive at 36. But without guidance, that was the thing. So like,
well, you said to me before your grandfather was like a huge
model for me. Yeah. So my grandfather was really like sorry, Mom, but my grandfather was like the last like manners I really like had. Like that's all I remember.
Well, he's probably like 10. The old school man. The old school traditional guy.
While living in Dominican for 4 years with him, I was in Dominican living for 4 years with Dominican kids and Dominican people. So living in a third world country kind of accelerates your life. I came back at 10 and a half, but I was really like 16. That's why I went to start. I was like, I want to work there. And he's like, really? I know we all know each other. So yeah, let's talk to him. And then that's how it happened. It was the only Dominican Spanish store in my town back home in Boston. So I was like, I'll work there. So that's how it started. I was very ahead. Since I didn't have guidance, all my friends that were 10, 11, 12, 13, they were home at 9, 8. I was out. with my 18, 20, 21-year-olds, you know. So I was always influenced by the older, but I will never forget one thing my grandfather always told me. And this is what carried me my whole life, is that smart man learns from his own mistakes and a wise man learns from others. And the wise man learns from others was what I fucking captivated. I kept it engraved in my heart forever. So everything that I've lived, I saw this person, oh, hell no, I'm not going that way, I'm going this way. Oh, hell no, I'm going this way. Oh, hell no. Like, I'm really good at learning from other people. I love hearing stories just to learn from them.
How is that in your fitness pursuit as of late? Because there's a lot of ways people fuck up there.
Fitness, when it comes to like learning, what do you mean? Like learning from different people? I think that we should all learn from everyone, but to a certain extent, because we are our own people. Something might work for us that might not work for them, and that's what I really like. Like, people push rice on me, and I'm like, I love rice. I'm addicted to rice, but I don't digest it right.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel right. It makes me sleepy. It makes me feel like shit. Like, I don't feel right. And a lot of people, but no, if you eat it this amount, I'm like, I could take a spoonful.
What the hell's telling you eat all this rice?
I don't know. It's just in the bodybuilding, in the gym, everybody's rice and chicken is everything.
Foods.
Rice and chicken. I don't
think it's. There are times where that didn't sit well with me at all, and I had to switch to potatoes.
Yeah, and sweet potatoes are fun. I love sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes do me so right.
There's some interesting like scientific stuff where you look at like bodybuilding diets and stuff like that is like the underpinning of other areas of fitness. But how you gain muscle, strength, and how you eat for fat loss, optimal body composition. There's a science, but I really don't think that people understand that this cookie cutter way of doing it is not the only way.
No.
Like, am I going to die if I have the same number of carbs from sweet potatoes versus rice, or rice just got this rap for being a bodybuilding food? I understand why it has.
Well, you got to understand there's a system in place where the government controls a lot, right? So they saw that bodybuilding is such a huge business, bro. So of course they're going to create a bunch of gimmicks and a bunch of trends every single day in the bodybuilding world. Oh, this is the new one. Oh, this is the new one. Oh, this is the new one. When it comes to find out even supplements, there's only like 3 manufacturers in the country. Everything's white labeled.
Yeah.
Everybody's going crazy. I want this one. Oh, this one's the best. This one's the best. 15% off. Like, it's all the same place.
It goes back to the marketing of like, what is it that grips the person? Like, I've used plenty of Redcon 1 supplements. I've used Project AD, stuff that I keep going back to, right?
There's a lot of valid
ones. Then I go
back
to always Dimetized ISO 100. So I have the things that are like staples, and I'm like, wait a minute. Everybody knows, well, not everybody, but people should know that the bodybuild or the, what's it called? Vitamin Shop Body Tech protein is basically another brand. I think it's like Optimum. One of them like underpins all that as like the source of the white labeling, and it's like interesting because why do I choose one over the other? The label, the marketing, like I kind of fell in love with like at one point Redcon's like just the whole like army theme. I don't know. They created a brand around this theme, but then I fell in love with Project AD's like scientific. It appealed to my nerdy side.
I love GAT.
So yeah, that one has a different image. So it's interesting because I feel like that's where fitness is going online. People will we're not going to change a squat. I might be able to technically teach it better for someone who's not able to do it because of my background in sports performance and different types of biomechanics. But a squat is a squat.
A squat is a squat.
So with the separator, truly, if you're looking for results and customization, is who can teach what your body needs better based upon what feedback you give that coach. But who chooses this booty bitch over this booty bitch, or this jacked guy over that jacked guy? It's some other brand building and relatability, which I feel like you've created that with your audience, with JFlex. Like, You've got to get some sort of like support or comments from the people that have been around long enough when you shifted into showing a lot more of your, what I would say is sentimental side, because you're not just.
I don't want to be. I don't want to be. I don't want to be this. Oh yeah, you have to live this perfect life and be this perfect person and wear a tie all the time. Like that's not who I am. Like when yes, like I speak with authority sometimes, you know, I try to like correct what's wrong, but I'm also a clown.
Yeah.
I fucking love
Do you know how many
comedy,
people are
bro. I
afraid
love
to show
comedy.
that side though?
I love comedy. And I've always like I've been in front of the camera for a long time. Like I don't mind doing a skit. I don't mind saying a funny joke. I worked at Dick's Last Resort. Like what do you expect?
We might go to McDonald's after this.
Oh my god.
So I can kick some
I love McDonald's.
fries out of your hand and
I
make
love
an
McDonald's.
Instagram about it.
I love McDonald's. But nah, Dick's Last Resort taught me how to like be not persuasion, but how to like control crowds and control people. I had to imagine serving a table of 20, 30 kids where you had to entertain every single one of them, make fun of every single one of them. And then you have another table of 4 and another table of 6.
That was their entertainment. They knew they were getting that.
Yeah, well, yeah, of course. They're there for a reason.
Something was a little more insulting, fine, but
I was literally insulting kid by kid, table by table, parent by parent, and then at the same time making hats for them. Imagine having 4 or 5 tables that you have to get their food, their drinks, and then make hats for every single person with a different joke. Make sure it's a different joke.
So the creativity factor is really what.
Absolutely. That's
thinking
what
on your feet.
Yeah, thinking on my feet. That you say something, try to say something negative, I will have a response back. That's what that job taught me.
So if you were serving me, if I was one of your customers, and I'd be like, yo, what's with your attitude today?
Shut up. You been here before? No?
No.
Oh, well, this place is crazy. We joke around a lot, so don't take us serious. All right? I'm serious. This place is crazy.
So you're able to go into this
Look
role
around.
Of like serious.
Look around. The place is crazy. Hey, this girl's never been here. Show her a good time. My manager would be worse than I am. My coworkers, everybody would be in it. Like my managers would be in the script, and then the bartender, the servers, everybody's just fighting against each other and just shut up, sit down. And if you didn't get, like if you were a server and you didn't get to the table on time to explain to them the restaurant, they'd be looking around like, dude, what's going on here? This place is crazy. Oh my God, no. Wait, what? This person yelling, hey, shut up, sit down, eat your food.
So what if like I got my order wrong? I'm like, listen, I wanted cheese on this burger.
You didn't order cheese.
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't. Why are you lying? When did you say
And
cheese?
that's the day that Christina punches a waiter.
I'll get up on the table. Shut up, you freaking liar.
This is what I love about you because your sense of humor is so much greater. I go from 0 to 100. Like I'll try to be patient and like, yo, the ego's coming out. The ego's coming out. And then if I can't white knuckle it, I don't know. I might leave.
It depends on the level of
How much you're pushing the person.
Yes. Now I know what level I could push you at. I could push you in as far as going to go to the kitchen and grab a piece of cheese with my hands and just slap it on your burger. It depends.
Not after COVID. People are like, you didn't wash your hands.
That's the problem. Everybody got soft.
Now everybody's so uptight.
I got so like when I first started, the first 3 years of that job, you had to ID people after 8 o'clock, which was it used to get crazy fun. But now since people have gotten so sensitive, people don't take jokes. Things have became more PG. You know what I mean?
So
like before, it was wild, like bachelorette parties, tits everywhere, shots here, and like thongs hanging out. Like it was fun. And then mind you, I worked with 7 gay dudes at one point, like 6, 7 gay dudes at one point. So I was the only straight guy, and maybe a few other straight guys, and
a couple of boobs,
and just a couple of girls. I mean, like more girls, but I was basically like at one point one of the only guys that was straight. So I was dealing with drama with this gay guy don't like this gay guy, and this one's arguing like, no, that's my table, bitch, like fucking like, and then this one's over here arguing, and then the tables are like, what the this place is crazy.
But it's still part of the act.
But it's still some people really. Hey, listen, you have 2 alpha gay guys is crazy.
But you can pass that off.
Is
as
it
part
alpha
of the
gay
act.
guys? Sorry.
Well, the word alpha has its own.
Yeah, well, okay.
Did you see the thing I sent you on Instagram today about the dude that says,
Yeah.
if you have to call yourself alpha,
Alpha male.
I'm going to need receipts. What's your bank account? What's your testosterone level? I'm like, okay, we have a new definition of alpha. Because I used to think, like, when I was on the Fresh and Fit podcast, I was like, I want an alpha man.
I think it's a tough person. That's the way I look at alpha. I don't know any new terminologies.
Well, here's the interesting thing. So on this one dating app, this little dude from New York. He was like 5'6". He was like a firefighter in New York, but like retired now, so he's like in his 50s. I never pursued the conversation, but he hit me up. He was like, I just want to let you know, I'm an alpha man. I'm a leader, not a follower. And you know the New York voice, right? The New York. And I know how to treat a lady. And I'm like, this motherfucker.
I know how to treat a lady.
And I'm like, all right. So I let it linger in the DM for like weeks, and I'm like, delete. Like, because the whole concept of alpha, first of all, when I was on Fresh and Fit and I said I want an alpha guy that makes like a shit ton of money, of course I got like shit for that. Of course, because everyone's like, you look like a dude, so the fuck you think you deserve a dude? And like, whatever, point taken. But then I started to rethink that because the qualities that I thought were alpha are actually not what
people think. Oh, no, it's like, not what people think.
You think I want some dude that's going to walk around the gym? Yeah, be like me.
No, you know what I've learned a man is? All right, I'm going to get, what's his actor's name? The way...
Denzel Washington.
No, the way he positions himself, Jason Statham, in his movies. He has no emotions. A man should maybe have 5% emotions. He shouldn't have emotions. A man should learn how to control. In a negative
bitch way, like control of emotions.
Emotions, emotions. Something happens, like, oh my God, I fucked that. Come on, man.
I don't like those people, especially on social media. The loud mouths.
It's cool to prove a point. To prove a point.
Not all the time. It's overkill. And at some point, it's like, I need to shut you off.
Like, I don't care about the military, going to the military. Like, I don't want to deal with a military person around me all the time.
Which I think is the interesting thing, because my mom used to say this thing: you get more honey, or you get more bees with honey than you do with vinegar. But then I kind of feel like that's your personality.
But then again, you gotta understand, I'm going by the greats, the best of the best. The best to me is Gary V, the Alex Hormozy now. They are realistic.
Yeah.
You know, they're like, yeah, they're realistic. Like, they're like, listen, you're a lazy piece of shit. Okay, you're a lazy piece of shit. But you're not constantly drowning someone, you know, or like yelling at them so much. And like, some people are we're in a different age right now where some people are sensitive and they could actually, instead of reacting on doing, they react on fucking killing themselves or some shit.
Yeah.
People are really sensitive right now. And a lot of gurus and mentors and coaches still kind of don't understand that. I understand that people that want to help themselves need to help themselves. You know what I mean? I understand that. Like, you're going to want, like, in order for you to change, you have to change too. Some people don't know how to get out of that. You know, and most top people don't even want to deal with that. So that's what makes me question them. Like, are you really here for people, or are you here for just getting a buck from everyone? You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think the tides are turning. I'd like to say that what I saw on Instagram 5 years ago when I first moved to Miami, and I'm like trying to like people, and that's how I met Anthony, right? Like, I just was connecting with all the fitness people when I moved here, and we ended up doing like business together back in the day with Kangen Water. We sold water together, and I knew he was a real one because he was just so genuine. But then there were people who outnumbered him, so he was like a real one, and then there were a lot of fake ones. And unfortunately, I was 38 when I moved here, but young and impressionable in Miami because I was the newbie. So I'm seeing all the fake stuff, and I'm going to these events where I see fake people, and I'm like, this shit's not gonna last. The facade's not gonna last.
It's just no one lasts when it comes to not doing the right thing. Like, I started to realize that it's not impossible, but it's nearly impossible for a person to be such a high status and to be a good person completely.
Yeah.
I don't believe that anymore.
I know exactly what you're saying.
Like, I'm talking about in general, in the majority of the ones that we think are all successful. The majority that we think that are all successful, from that majority, it's really not what we think.
No, I think if you could read between the lines and you're self-aware and aware of what's going on around you and realistic, you can tell. Like, we know who presents themselves as authentic because of the way they care about people.
How they carry themselves.
And it's just like how their message isn't fuck bitches, get money. Those guys, sadly, they have a huge audience. And they blur the lines of take care of your family, do right by people, and your business and your life will flourish. That is the long play. I think the other approach is the short play, where people need to just be something fake to attract something fake for the quick money, and then just keep selling lies, and then keep lying about stuff to look impressive to people they don't really care about, but they'll gladly take their money. That's kind of where I feel like I've seen social media start to split. And now the people that I used to kind of look up to, I was like, wow, they're like really crushing it. But they had this fakeness. I really thought that I had to be perfect and fake when I moved here. And now I'm finding that people like love the fact that I'm just so like whatever. Like I'll get
no, but at the end of the day,
with no makeup on.
It's just it's not the phrase is not going to change. Real recognize real.
Yeah,
it's not going to change no matter what. The people that you think are real and they're not, on their own, they're going to start, You don't have to do anything. You don't have to do anything. Everybody crumbles on their own when they're doing it the wrong way. And when they're not doing it under God. I don't care what anybody says. God, my God will destroy anything if he wants. If you're not working according to his plan, it just doesn't matter. You can try, but, you can keep trying to hurt people and see what happens.
This is why I like that you have such a large audience, but you, and even like your presence in the gym, like you have these guiding foundational things that you're not afraid to talk about. Where I've met people that have huge following that are afraid to show who they really are because there's this facade of their business or their whatever image that they created, but they have this fear that who they are isn't good enough, so they'll lose business or they'll lose clients and I'm just like, man, whereas I'm like reflecting on the opposite. I'm like, wait a minute.
Like, oh my God, I have to have this car too for me to
whether it's
make
a car
these certain, like I get it. There's certain tools that we need that help your appearance to have more leads, to have more people ask you, how'd you get the Lamborghini and how'd you get the Ferrari? Listen, if it's not real, like I don't want it. I don't give a fuck.
I used to say that about bags.
You can have all the money you want. But I know when I walk into the same room as you, I'm pretty much at the same attention as you. And you got all the money.
Yeah.
And then besides, like all these guys get a few bucks and they think, oh my God, yeah, all the girls are going to run to them. And it's funny, all the girls run to them, know how corny they are because they have all this money. And then they still come back to, I can still get what guys pay for free. And that makes me very happy because that's, you know why that makes me happy though? Because that's their goal. Yeah. That's not my goal.
Yeah.
That's their goal, is to make all this money so they can have all these ladies. Well, I had all the ladies already, so it's really not about the money for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I could really give what I want money for, like I pray this comes out, and I know this year is going to be a year where I'm going to be financially on another level, and I'm saying it right here. And I told him, I was just like, watch the change in people around me once they see me doing what I'm about to do. What I'm about to do is show people how it really should be done when you have the money.
Yeah.
People think it's me. Me. It's all about me. There's no good in you having a formula that you can help so many people make money or show people on what you do. If you hold that in, you're being selfish.
Yeah.
You know? You're being selfish. My goal is to help people become better every day. My goal is to help at least one person in whatever way I can, even if it's just a talk.
Yeah.
Cool. I talked my way out. I talked my ass off at the gym today, but that person needed it.
Yeah.
You
And
know?
you never know. I mean,
You
I
don't
know there were
know.
times I
You don't
probably
know.
needed it too last
You know what's
year.
funny is just it's fucked up because recently, you know, a girl jumped off a balcony right near the
Yes, I
house. You
heard
know what I
about
mean?
that.
So it's like, what if you talked to that girl at the gym that day and she didn't jump off? You know what I mean? That's the way I look at it. Who knows? But at the same time, these people are, a lot of these people are so into the money that they don't even care about that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's always a bigger picture that they're missing.
And
Because the impact they're thinking that they're creating by what they boast online is you're not really making that impact from a genuine perspective.
it's not genuine.
Because when the money comes in, poof, they vanish.
That's it.
I've
They
seen
become
that,
a
I've had
different
that happen too.
person. They become a different person with you. And at the end of the day, karmatic, that is serious, man. You get what you put out, 100%. You want to plant a negative seed? You think poison ivy don't grow? It does.
In abundance and strong.
And then you can grow abundantly in a negative way too.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly.
It could be a domino fucking effect. All negative.
So this is covering your emotional, spiritual, and we already talked about physical. Like this is really shaping the complete person of how you would mentor somebody.
Yeah.
Because this is how you've evolved with all of your experiences.
It's just experience is what teaches us, but a lot of us tend to ignore it. You know, we tend to ignore it, even if it's an experience from someone else. Like, we're just like, oh, that happened to him. That won't happen to me. Well, if you really think that, how about you think the opposite? And you say, wow, that happened to him. I'm not going to get with that type of person because I learned from him. It was a reason why you heard it. You know, there's a reason why everything comes to you. It's either you're attracting it or you need to learn from it. It's either a lesson or it's either a lesson or you never lose. You never lose in life when you look at everything in a positive way. You don't. You know, thanks to Gary Vee. Gary Vee taught me a lot. Like I will give him all my credit. You know, I've been listening to him for a long time now, and his way of thinking has sculptured my own way of thinking.
Empathy is his big word.
Yeah, empathy. And then Alex Hormozy's a big one now too. The way he just, it's the free info that gets me, you know. Like, why do I have to pay someone now? Like, if you just sit there and just watch Gary Vee's YouTube and Alex Hormozy back and forth, you're going to know what to do.
I think that's what's so important about you putting out the content you're now moving toward, because you have that reach and you have that ability to make that impact because you can have people listen to you. Like, you're not screaming, you're not yelling, you're not intimidating, you're not trying to convince people to be like you.
I tried it. You know, I saw a few people do it. You know, I thought it would work, and I'm just like...
And it didn't feel right, did it?
I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Like, demolishing someone's character for them just not knowing...
Yeah.
It's crazy, man.
Teach.
It's more of a teach them why, not tell them why and leave them with a question. Like, oh shit, but why is he yelling at me? Like, why am I? Instead of like giving them the reason why.
Right.
You know, it's just a yell right away. You're wrong.
Well, that's alpha, isn't it? Fake alpha.
Learn how to control your emotions.
I know, and that as a
poker
female, though,
taught
like
me. That's what
looking
poker
at that,
taught me. Poker taught me that. Really, poker taught me that too. How to, oh shit, I have the best hand right now, but I can't let them show. I can't show them that I have the best hand right now. I can't. So that in life, I try to apply everything that I've learned from experiences and listening to other people's stories. My own experiences have taught me so much. You know, I've been through a lot. But I love it because it shaped me and made me who I am today, you know? Like, going back to what I really started this whole conversation. This is what happens at the gym all the time. So, I was selling drugs. I was surrounded by it. I was, you know, at the time, I was working for my uncle, right? And I was already at a level where I was like, I don't even want to do this anymore because I was sad to say, I'm sorry, but I was selling heroin at the time.
Ooh, ouch, juicy.
Yes, it's crazy. The experience was crazy. But I was working for my uncle. You know, long story short, it lasted about 2.5 years working with him. I got caught on a Friday the 13th. I was also wearing a Yankee hat in Boston. But
That's like
I felt like I kind of was set up in a way. They knew what's up. Everything. I just took it in a way that when it happened, I got pulled over. I was like, oh, shit, this is it. And I started laughing. I just laughed my way into jail. I laughed. Because I knew then, I was like, dude, I can't get mad at this. I was doing something wrong. I knew something was gonna happen. So it's just the way it happened. It was definitely like a godly situation, because I was on my third court visit where I didn't have a lawyer. So I kept getting 2, 3 chances. The last third one was the last chance to get a lawyer. I was like, fuck, I don't have a lawyer. I went to my boy's house. Shout out to my boy, man. His mom saved my life. She's like, I'm going to get you a lawyer right now. Tomorrow he'll be there. Cool. Lawyer shows up. He's like, that's the DA? He's like, I was in the boat with the husband and my wife last week. Don't worry. I'm going to get you a good sentence. So he got me a great sentence because he was plugged in, you know, shout out to him too. He got me 2 years, not mandatory, which in a year, he was the head of parole. In a year after. So he's like, don't worry, just take the 2 years. In a year, you're going to see parole, which I'm going to be the head. So you're good. So I took it. Literally, I was so blessed in so many ways because I got sentenced December 18th of 2009, right? But they let me spend the holidays with my family till January 6th when I had to turn myself in. You don't hear that. You don't hear shit like that. So they sent to me December 18th. January 6th comes, whatever. Smoke, everybody, you know, breakfast, cool. Say bye to my daughter's mom. I was like, yo, listen, I'm going in here single, and you're going out there single. I'm not in a relationship. I'm gone. Just take care of my daughter, please. That's it. So I went in and I took it like a fucking boot camp. I was like, ready, let's go. As soon as I get in, and they're like, yo, Johnny, what's up? I'm like, oh shit. I'm like,
they know me
like,
here.
He said, did you bring anything? I saw your case on the newspaper. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, dude, tell me you brought something. I'm like, what do you mean? I'm just here to do my time, bro. But funny thing is that I knew people. My cousin was there. My uncle was there. So I had a huge community inside. And it was honestly, I took it like an experience. I'm like, listen, I knew I was wrong. I'm just going to pay my time. You know, I'm going to do what I have to do to get out, whatever way I could get out. And I took it as an experience. Everybody always told me, like, dude, you don't even act like you're in jail. Like, what the fuck? Be a grown-ass man crying on the phone. I've seen that happen a lot. I'm like, oh, so when you were outside doing the wrong thing, you're fucking crying inside now? Like, fucking grown-ass man, 45 years old?
Hey, you got a point.
No, that's the thing. Like, I took it. I didn't seem like I was in jail.
So you're just telling me that you took
I
responsibility.
wasn't no tough guy fucking fighting. Fuck that shit.
Yeah.
I was just there to do my time, but I took it as a learning experience. I learned. I read books. I learned how to play poker. I was killing it in dominoes. I worked out. I took it really good. Like, I took it in a good way. I read more in there than I ever did in high school and fucking and in college and anything. I read more in jail. I read the Bible a lot more. I got in tune with the Bible. So I got in tune with, like, I had godly things happen to me in there. Mind you, I took my time. I pled. I said I did it. It was my fault. It was all mine. I went and bought it in New York. Fucking brought it back. I did the time. I got out on parole. Right? Fast forward to years later. Fast forward to last year. So there was a big case going on in Massachusetts, right? Where the two laboratories that are in charge of the drugs, when you get caught, they get sent to the laboratory. Where the two ladies, shout out to Ann Duncan, The two ladies in the fucking laboratories were doing the drugs.
Oh, Jesus.
And they tainted the drugs. So over 36,000 cases were refunded and dropped. And my case was one of them. I got a $1,200 check, and now I don't have a felony. That never happens. That's why I got punished by God for 13 years with a felony where I couldn't do anything. And last year, the shit got dropped.
Wow.
So I went from a felon to not a felon. I don't even know how. That is crazy, right?
So
I took the rap. I did the time.
Yeah.
I did everything, and they still have to take it off because she fucked up.
So
Heroin. It wasn't heroin.
when you talk about living up to the upper 1% every day, right? Getting 1% better every day.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like people who resonate with the mission of why I want to bring epic people onto the podcast and learn is the concept of taking responsibility, like extreme ownership for the shit you do. Stop being a coward. Stop hiding behind your mask of yelling and screaming. Stop deflecting and blaming others. Take responsibility. And whatever you believe in, I mean, for us it's God, but whatever you believe in, you have to recognize there's some sort of higher power working for you.
Absolutely.
If you're not a dickhead.
I know.
And because I'm on a warpath, I have something specific in my head right now. Even a person who's a dickhead, doing wrong by people, whatever happens to that person, God's probably still behind the scenes trying to fix their ass for the better.
Yeah. Or teaching a lesson. He's teaching a lesson in everything. There's a lesson. Remember, it's not just a lesson on your part. The person doing it gets a lesson too. You know? But the question is, who understands it? Because if both don't, everything was done for no reason, pretty much. You know?
So when you look at yourself with all of this background and all this wisdom, especially since your grandfather set the precedent, as a person who's evolving into more of a life coach, like fitness is a vehicle, but I don't think fitness is your thing. I feel like you connect with people so well that actually guiding them through this tough shit is probably more of your wheelhouse.
And that's what I tend to happen. That's what happens to me at the gym. It happens to me
fitness
everywhere,
is a
though.
vehicle to not just connect with
but
people,
that's the therapy. People think it's like,
yeah.
I don't know, man. But when people are like, I'm a fitness coach, I'm like, no, you're a step. It's like a step part. All right, there's a pie. It's part of the pie.
Yeah.
I mean, an entire pie. Fitness is therapy. Fitness is something that we need to accomplish, not for physical reasons. I mean, for looks, but more for a mental, for a spiritual. Go running. Run 10 miles. And you're gonna tell me if you're not gonna see something, and you're gonna see a lot more up here.
Yeah.
You know, you're gonna be way more creative. You're gonna be more. So there's certain levels of working out that open up doors to different things in your life. You know.
And you know what's crazy? My background has always been fitness, and my job as a college strength coach was very specific. So you had to have a high level of training knowledge specific to what gets athletes to perform better. But what the theme of what always happened, especially from the ages of 18 to 22, when you're dealing with these kids, sometimes 23 if they're a fifth year, that's a really, really important point of life for them where they're growing. And you end up becoming mentors of some sort, counselors of some sort, even though my expertise was in the training realm. Now, I don't use so much of that extreme detail anymore because, and I hate saying this because it sounds rude, but it's not. Most adults right now, they don't need that level of attention to detail. They just don't. They just need to move. But what's preventing them from moving? Some of them just have to spend money for you to get there and get their ass out of bed. Some of them are really looking for connection and are really... I've had a client text me the other day and say, I'm really glad we crossed paths. Like, I was about to shut myself off from people because they just were disingenuous, et cetera, but like I'm grateful you're in my life. And like that's one of those things when I get frustrated with fitness itself, I realize like I'm moving in the same direction as you in the sense that like I can't get rid of fitness 24 years. I'm pretty much an expert in a lot of things. Not an expert in everything, but you know, I could teach people that section because it's what I had to do tactically.
Yeah.
But the stuff that you learn lifestyle wise to really freaking help somebody. That's life experience.
I just
That's
feel like
mentorship.
I just feel like going back to God gives his strongest his what is it?
Toughest lessons or
The toughest brain fart. God gives his strongest battles to his
toughest soldiers.
toughest battles to the strongest soldiers.
Yeah.
That's exactly it. Why does he put you through that? Why does he put you through everything that you go through, right? It's for you to share it and help others. That's it. Everything that we go by, every single day, everything that we experience is to relay it, to just throw it out. Because if you look at life, right? Life is God's chess game, and we're one of his pawns. Some may be the king, some may be the queen, some may be a pawn. We're here to accomplish his next step. We're here to relay a message. And people come to you relaying a message. Some of us are closed in and close the doors on everyone. But you don't know who could be telling you a godly-like thing. He could use a homeless. He could use the richest guy in the gym. He could use the owner. He could use the front desk. Something. God uses people. God never comes himself. He never comes as himself. So if he uses people, listen to everybody. Doesn't mean that you have to go home with everybody.
Right.
Because I talk to everybody at the gym, but who comes to my house? No one. Not like that. No one. So there has to be a level of, hold up, that's that, and this is this.
Yeah.
That's the way I think. I feel like that's what Grant Cardone says, shake everybody's hand. Shake everybody's hand. It's a great thing to talk to everybody. But you also have to put a limit and a boundary on everyone.
Yeah, for sure.
So I feel like communication with others helps more than we think. Because it could help them or it could help you.
And that's also another thing, like relaying back to the whole getting 1% better. How many people shut down
A lot of
when
people
they don't like the result or the outcome or the
first
the
month of a
news.
working out, a new workout.
And they don't talk.
They're like, fuck, this is a lot. But I did lose 20 pounds. I want to lose more, but damn, that whole month was crazy. So people need to find, it takes that one day, that one situation when it happens where they're like, fuck, all right, I gotta fucking do this. Like, I have to do this. Like, I'm about to die. The doctor said this. Or, damn, I lost my mom, and I lost her because of stomach cancer from eating bad or some shit.
Yeah.
It takes that one experience to just trigger someone, But they're going to go, who are they going to hit up? If we all have these followers that are just like there, and they know they have to sign up to us. So they know that we're the ones because they watch our stories all the time. Now, it's all a matter of time for them until that, boom, oh shit, Christina. I see her posting all the time. That's who I'm going to go with. I'm going to train with Christina. She's consistent. She's always at the gym. She eats this. She eats that. They go with the most consistent. So we have a lot of people that are following us that may not sign up right now, but they go by the consistency. And that's what a lot of these coaches sell. They sell a consistent plan. You stay consistent, posting this, posting that. People see that you're consistent. For example, I go to church every Sunday. I put up a post yesterday. I was at church. From yesterday, takes 24 hours for your stories to fall. But from yesterday to today, I had people telling me, I'm going next Sunday. I'm going next Sunday. Now, by the time it comes, not that many people go, or maybe no one goes. But my point is that people see me going every Sunday. Now, when something happens bad in their life, they hit me up first. Oh, I have to go to church. I have to go to church with you Sunday, man. This is it. I just had a bad experience. So that's what it is. The trick is in the consistency. When they see you consistent every day working out and caring about yourself, when something happens to them in their life, you're the first person they contact. So I took a couple courses out there on online coaching, and one of them said that it takes people 3 months to sign up, right? So, but that relates to the consistency. They see you.
Gotta see it.
They got to see it constantly. They fuck. All right, Flex, I get it. You work out. How do I start this workout? Like, what do I do? You know, because if 75% of America is overweight, it's 1/3. That's fucking disgusting.
Yeah, no, it's true.
That means that everybody's doing something wrong. And that wrong is uneducated and no motivation. Those two things, you know? But there's another thing that I have a skill on. I see people's potential more than they see it in themselves. Like, I see guys that could be physically crazier than me. And I'm like, dude, let's get it. Let's work out. Just do this, do this. And they just don't see it. And I'm like, dude, you're fucking tall. You're 6'2". You're fucking 6'2". With fucking mass. You drop all that fat, you'd be fucking ripped. You'd be huge.
They get caught in their old ways.
But they get caught in their old ways. But the worst part with men is that this is why I fuck around with a lot of women. I love women. I have best friends as women. No, like, not even like to hook up.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I love to have powerful women around me because women are more powerful to me than men are. Because women are more open. They're more understandable when it comes to, like, yeah, I'll try it. Like, oh, this is healthy? Yeah, sure, I'll try it. I want to be better. I want to look better. I want anything that makes me better. A woman wants. A guy's like, nah, I know it. I know how to do this. Like, I don't need to learn this. Like, no, I'm good. I'll stick to my routine. And they still haven't changed in 3 years in the gym.
Exactly.
But it's because they're stubborn. If they put that guard down and said, yes, I'm willing to learn and I'm willing to get coached, because Michael Jordan had a coach. Everybody has a coach. Everybody still needs to learn. A doctor needs to go and fucking take training at least 3 to 5 times a year to learn something new in the body or something, right? You can't just graduate, become a doctor, and that's it. You never have to go back to school. Like, no, you have to upgrade. You have to go and get updates and shit. Like, shit, oh, this came out. New tool came out for this, so you have to learn. Like, everybody needs a coach. Everybody needs a mentor. The right ones, though.
It's a fair share.
Hey, do your homework, guys. Do your
It's a
homework.
fair share.
How
Contact
about
us. We'll tell you the
use
real
Google,
ones.
please. Use Google. Use Google.
All of their names.
Just Google,
Hit up
please.
Baller Busters.
God. Whoa.
Make sure you check.
What website is that?
Check out your websites with that.
It's just it's crazy, man.
Bullshit.
Just make sure you invest your money in the right people. We don't want to.
But you know what? I will tell you, I have invested money in the so-called air quotes wrong people before, and it was thousands upon thousands that I had to eat. Even after thinking that I spent enough time vetting these people or persons out, and you just learn.
You just got to keep it moving.
I just keep on putting failures in the arsenal as learns.
Christina, I was in the midst of opening 2 smoke shops. They didn't work out. I just took it as a hit. I don't even want to say how much. A lot of money. So I just said, you know what? It is what it is. At fucking 2014, I had in Salem, Massachusetts, I had a storefront. I decorated it. I remodeled the inside. I fucking painted it. I put new floors, new ceilings, new everything. 10 months I paid rent, and I never opened it.
What?
A nutrition store.
Why?
Someone screwed me over with money, and that was my inventory money, and I just gave it up.
More learning.
I tried. Listen, and the worst part is I had T-shirts. I had T-shirts, hats. I had business cards. I've failed so many times in so many things that I don't even care.
So that's another point. A good point. Resiliency. You have to be able to just not dwell on the shit. And like, I take a lot more action now, and I feel like a late bloomer with this kind of stuff because I didn't have the same upbringing and childhood you had. I didn't have the same experiences, so it took me a lot longer in my adult life to understand. Like, just move on.
Yeah,
I would sit there and debate. Well, how can they do this to me? Like, oh, it's like, fuck that. You're gonna drive yourself crazy. And after driving myself nuts, I was like, yeah, you gotta figure out a way to be more resilient a lot quicker and just make better decisions faster.
No, and the craziest part is that everything pretty much that's happened that's bad to me, it either happened helping someone or helping someone. That's what it is. Helping someone was what destroyed. It was lessons though, but it's what most of my negativity came from was with helping someone else. All of it, getting in trouble, fighting for someone, trying to defend someone. Like, it was all out of helping the wrong people. Everything. It could be, we can include relationships. You know, thinking that, oh, these aren't red flags, these are green. You know, I'm just here because God placed us here, and I'm supposed to be the hero in this relationship. And then guess what? Nothing works out. Every time that nothing works out with a person is because you're not meant to be. People don't understand that either. They try and they keep trying and they keep trying. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. Point blank. You know, I learned that too. I learned, you know, focus on your weaknesses and better them, and get them, eliminate them if you can, which I did with the alcohol, was one of them. And then when I mixed alcohol and women in Miami, it's wild.
That's a recipe for disaster.
Drink and too many options around, and it's just, you do stupid shit. So I gave up drinking. Drinking's stupid anyways. We're into fitness. We're into working out and eating healthy, buying supplements, and then you're going to hurt yourself drinking. I don't find no amuse. I don't need it. I'm already crazy without it.
It's nice to be naturally crazy and funny.
Give me a coffee.
Well, now it's at the point where coffee makes me a little nuts. So I'm like, I was on a roll on Saturday.
Wow. Really?
Oh gosh, I crushed myself, which is why I can't walk today. It's like Monday and I still can't walk.
Oh my
or
God.
sit up in bed because my abs are killing me. But no, this was really, really fulfilling because I feel like every time I put out content about like, oh, carbs and how to train your legs, it's so cerebral and boring. But to have a full-on conversation with someone who could teach way beyond that stupid shit, no offense to the people that want to know that stuff, but the stuff that really backs us, what is behind who we are and how we look at that to say like, okay, this is who I am and how do I get better in the areas that I want? And it's just that 1%. So all the little things that we touched on with consistency and wisdom and learning from your mentor, all the stuff that you already mentioned. And I'm going to like make show notes and like write all these down because there's more message that is in what you said than I think people are going to take. Because we just need to see bullet points, right? Mm-hmm. And I hope people see that there's so much here beyond just the stories. Like the stories tell you exactly what you need to know if you listen.
Yeah, exactly. That's where they were placed in our lives. Like I'm sure, like a lot of your followers and a lot of our followers, a lot of people in the world, their story might impact. I'm not gonna say they might impact. They will impact someone. And every day that you don't share your stories, you're being selfish.
I had to learn that.
You're not compliant.
I had to get over my ego and say, oh, I'm nobody. Nobody wants to know about me because
no, that's not true.
Everybody wants to know about celebrities. Everybody wants to know about politicians. Everybody wants to know about who is behind this, that, and the third. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. There's a girl, ironically, yesterday on Instagram that I caught a reel of that had a story of binge eating. And she said, I'm going to eat this burger for the first time in 4 years because it's not going to control me or lead to a binge. I'm like pretty much conquered this relationship with food. And there was so much hate just because she was like a heftier woman. But the people who needed to hear that were like, oh my God, I'm not the only one.
That's the point.
The judgmental fucks were like, oh, you don't need a Big Mac. But she doesn't have a very big following. But that post went so viral that it totally touched somebody that needed to hear it.
Of course, that's the point. That's all that matters.
So we're gonna get a post one day.
No, that's all that matters.
That really goes out there to see who in the masses needs to hear the story because
I mean it doesn't matter. It could be the masses or it could just be 10 views. One of them might hurt.
And the thing that my ego had to learn was it doesn't matter if they don't tell you. We're so used to feedback, and I get so irritated when I don't get feedback. That's another thing.
Like a lot of men don't say it. They'll absorb my information. They'll run with it. Probably become rich with it. But they will never say, oh, Flex, taught me this. Or Flex.
Behind it.
Like a few have humbled down recently because they see me being consistent. And I'm 36 and I look crazy compared to a lot of people that I grew up with, So I have a little bit of more of a credibility now. But it's so funny because a lot of people will never give that credit up. And I know for a fact that a lot of people have taken a lot of my ideas, a lot of people have used my information, for their better, but they would never admit that. But I would. I'm very blunt when we're talking anything about my life in general. I put it out there. I don't give a fuck. You know. I don't.
Wow.
I learned too that I've been through a lot of shit. You know, I've been through too many torments where I just want to live simple. And I've learned from a lot of people that I'm surrounded by now in the past 4 years with Elevation and seeing successful people. I don't want a lot of what people want. I want simplicity. I want to work as less as I can and make the most as I can. And I want to make as much money as I can with spending the less as I can. Because I really want to be as simple as possible. I don't want to own 25,000 houses where I'm stressing and I'm trying to sell you a house and I don't want none of that. I'm going to triple, quadruple down on what makes me the most money and help as many people as I can. I really don't give a fuck about being the most powerful man on the planet. That's God for me.
And that is powerful.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, Christina, like, not to brag, but I've had the spotlight my entire life. So nothing's gonna change my character. Like, I don't care about having so much material, so much possessions, and just like make myself look better. I want to be able to provide to communities and provide to people and build a church if I could, or build schools if I could back home. Like, that's my type of impact. Like, you know, I don't give a fuck about fucking 15 cars. Unless those 15 cars are rented and they're making me more money, I don't give a fuck about those 15 cars.
Yeah.
People are delusional, though. People love to, like, oh, my God, how'd you get those cars? Like, bro, I could pull up on my fucking electric scooter and take your girl out of your car and have her hop on with me, take her in a picnic at the beach, and she'll have a way better, she'll have a blast compared to your miserable fuck guy that just because he has the money, he's good.
I love it. Well, we got to wrap up.
Just look at the girls in the passenger seat when they're next to one of those guys. In those come on, it speaks for itself because they're looking at me.
On that note.
Shout out to them.
On that note, oh my God, thank you for coming out. So
part 2 coming soon.
Yeah, we will definitely do a part 2 because there's so much wisdom here. Well, it's at J_Flex, right, on Instagram.
J_Flex.
And you answer your DMs.
Hey, ladies out there, what's up?
Ladies answer. He
Single.
answers the DM for the ladies.
I love older women, by the way. Anyway.
I guess I better run out. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you have any questions, make sure you DM us. And, of course, any other questions about what you want to hear on SpecTalk podcast about being 1% better every single day, learning from the greats that have done amazing things, you let me know.